Hello, hello, hello. Here we are live. I'm so excited to be back live. Okay, let me pull us up on the phone. I have the house to myself, and I love moments like that. But what's it called? It's so cold that even my nice heated garage, I decided would be better to be upstairs. So you can see my diffuser diffusing behind me. It's really more like above me on my head, but that's all good too. So I don't have smoke and steam. Good morning, Dawn. I'm glad that you're here. I don't have smoke and steam coming out my head. It's just the diffuser behind me. So welcome, guys. I am just so glad to be back here. I know our time is different. This is actually the time that we started at, and so we just kind of slid back into this time slot. So say hi when you're logging on so that I can see you. And I put my notes on the wrong side, so I've got to move that because then I can't see the comments. Say hi when you're logging on because I don't know you're here if you don't say hi. If you're watching this in replay, hashtag replay, and engage along the way. Let me know how your answers to the questions are and so forth. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're here for the first time, tell us where you're from because I like to know where everybody is. So welcome everybody. I am glad that you're here. We are going to be talking about goal setting. Today, well, mastering goals. Today specifically is setting clear goals, and we're going to jump into that. So drop a 1 in the comments if you have heard me talk about goals before, and drop a 2 if this is brand new information or you've just not heard me speak about it before. And what's it called? As you put that in the comments, we are going to go ahead and get going and dig into today's live. Have I mentioned that I'm really glad that we're back live here? Because I am, if I haven't mentioned it. So, okay. This is a, well, it's like we've talked about goals before. We've talked about it. And it's truly something you can't talk about enough. And the reason so is because we just don't practice as much as we should. I mean, we don't really set goals. Hi, Susan. I'm glad that you're here. Excellent. Susan, you're going to get so much of this information over the next 12 months too. So you're going to be digging in, but today is a great place to be. Good morning. Okay. So the reason that we spend so much time talking about goals is because it's something that we're really struggling. Yes, you too, Dawn. Yay. It's something that we're really struggle with maintaining, right? We set goals and then we falter along the way and we just don't practice it enough. It sounds like a very weird thing. Or we're the type of person who's like, well, I'm not going to set any goals because I never get anywhere anyhow, so I'm just not going to plan. No, that's not the case. We're just going to talk about how come you never get anywhere and how you can get there. So this is a 3-part series. Today we're going to be talking about setting clear goals. And we are going to really dig into what that really is, what a clear goal is. Part 2 video tomorrow is going to be talking about personal and professional goals. And we're going to walk through making the goals, like literally making your goals tomorrow. Part 3, we'll be talking about the tides that pull us under. So the distractions, right? The interruptions, the setbacks, the things that actually hinder us from really getting to our goals. And they don't have to be astronomical things. They can be everyday life. And so we're going to dig into that tomorrow on day 3. So, but today, let's talk about setting goals. There's an initial 2-step process and then a little bit more, but we're going to start with this 2-step process when we're doing the goals. So first is the what. What's the goal, right? That sounds pretty simple. What do you want to do? Where do you want to be? What is the goal that you have? Okay. Maybe you have something simple, maybe you have something very specific, maybe you're uncertain, but if you have some goal ideas, share them in the comments. You don't have to be specific if you don't want to. You can just say lose weight or get a promotion or climb Mount Kilimanjaro, or I think that's the right name of the mountain. It's not one of my goals. Right? But go ahead. If you have some goals that you want to talk about, go ahead and drop them in the comments. And once you have the what the goal is, like you have to have the what because that is the goal. So you have to have the what. Once you have the what, then comes that question that I ask all the time. And I tell you, you have to ask yourself all the time, why? Why do you want this goal? So if you have a goal, like I said, you can just say goal in the comments. If you know why that's your goal, drop a 3. If you are uncertain as to why that's your goal, or if you just think, well, it's because everybody says it should be a goal, or whatever, right? I want you to go ahead and drop a 4 in the comments and be like, I don't know my why, or I do know my why. 3 if you know your why, a 4 if you don't know your why, and go ahead and put them in the comments. And here's the thing. The why matters, right? The what matters because it's the goal. No goal without no what. But the why is what's going to make it happen. The why is what's going to guarantee you get to where you're going. And if you're uncertain of your why, then you really don't know why you want to be there, and therefore you kind of lose focus along the way. Okay? Just throw up some raised hands in the comments if you have been there. Like you've set goals, but you really didn't know why you set the goals, or they just sounded like good goals, but you didn't have a great motivation towards them, right? So without that motivation, that why, you just never achieve the goals. I could drop a raised hand here. I was not the type of person going back 15, 20 years ago who set goals. One, let's be real, well, more than 15, 20 years ago. My kids are all into their 20s. But, you know, when I had little kids, what was I going to set a goal for? My goal was to feed everybody and get everybody to sleep. I mean, that was really the only goals that I had during the day. Then I started homeschooling them, and I had to actually make academic plans for a year for 3 kids, right? So I had to start planning and putting goals in place. I certainly didn't have any real personal goals. Like the only personal goal I really ever attained to was lose weight. I mean, that was really the only personal goal I ever attained to. When I was in my 30s, that's not true. When I turned 30, my husband was in Africa. He left for Africa on September 10th, 2001. September 11th happened. He left with one other guy. And then the rest of his team was supposed to join them on September 12th, the 10 other guys who were here. September 11th happened, and it took a little while before the rest of his team could join him. But that's where he was at this moment that I'm about to share. So I had a friend whose husband was running a triathlon, or competing in a triathlon, and I just got this wild hair. I'm like, I'm going to do it too. But like I had a goal, but I didn't have a why towards my goal. I didn't have any why towards my goal whatsoever, other than, okay, I'll do it too. I'm 30. That sounds good, right? I have 0 training. I don't run. I walk really fast, and I walk faster than some people run, but I don't run. I swim like the average Joe, right? But I don't have any good swimming skills per se. And I had been in a bike accident when I was 14 years old, and outside of pretty flat places, I really didn't ride my bike anymore. So this was a great plan, was it not? Right? And I had no why. Are you seeing where we're setting ourselves up here for failure? So here's what happened. I went and I competed in this triathlon. I did take swim lessons because I thought that that would be a good skill to have, to actually learn how to swim. And I did. I did not practice any running. I did not practice any biking. Do you know how much running and biking there is in a triathlon? The running is 3.1 miles, which I can walk that, so I really wasn't worried about that. But the biking is 13 and a half miles. 13 and a half miles. I didn't practice any bicycling whatsoever. And let me tell you, it was 3 laps around these main roads in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is rather hilly. I wouldn't say mountainous, but hilly. And what's it called? I did okay on lap 1. Lap 2 came around. That became an epitome of failure, which set me up for the absolute failure of lap 3. I still had to run after that. Anyhow, I did finish triathlon. I came in dead last, but I finished. But I don't feel any grand accomplishment in finishing, right? That, to me, it's actually just a story to talk about the fact of how poor my plans were, how poor my goal was, because there wasn't really a goal, even though I said I was running a triathlon or competing in a triathlon. So it's really important to have clear goals. It is very important, and that's what we're going to dig into. And you have to know your why. If you don't know your why, okay, I can see that I'm not getting all the comments coming through. Now I'm seeing them. design and build my business, love it, obtain my master's degree, better body image, excellent, excellent, excellent. I have a friend who took college courses on preparing for triathlon. That's a really smart friend, let me tell you. I have no regrets because I learned a lot in that. And I did finish, all right? And that's the type of person I am. I am going to finish something I started, even if it's an epic fail. And it was an epic fail. There's more to the story, but we have plans for today. So anyway, but that's a good plan. Taking a course is a really, really good plan. Okay, so if you don't know your why, you're not going to be successful. So you have to know your why. And I know I talk about the why all the time. The why is what makes us tick. It really is. The innards of us is the why. So that's why is important. So, okay, so if you don't know what your goal is, if you don't know why your goal is what it is, your goal is not going to come to fruition. You will get nowhere without the why. So your goal is to lose 10 pounds. Why? To fit into certain clothes, to feel beautiful, to meet a weight requirement for competition or a specific job like a flight nurse. They have to be under a certain weight for obvious reasons. They're flying in helicopters and you can only put so much weight inside. Your goal is to buy a house. Why? Tired of renting. It's always been a dream to own a home. Maybe you want to have a yard and a garden. Maybe that's your why, right? Your goal is a promotion. Why? Moving up the ladder and higher aspirations. Maybe that's the ideal job, the promotion. Maybe you have financial goals. What is your goal and why? This is the essential part of setting clear goals. So once you know the what and you know the why, you can really dig into the goal. Mini goals will be key along the way, milestones along the way, because they will help you feel like you are achieving steps and getting closer to your goal. If you don't have any mini goals along the way, you're just driving down. Have you ever driven across country on like I-20 or I-40? No, I-40 doesn't go across the country. I-20 does though. All the way across the country. I-80, that's the other one, Interstate 80 or Interstate 20. Both of them go almost all the way across the country, east to west. You can feel like you're driving on that forever. So here's the goal, okay? Set yourself, maybe your milestone is the next state. Maybe your milestone is every 300 miles. Set small milestones towards your goal, because if not, you're just gonna feel like you're on this road forever and you're not getting anywhere. Set mini rewards as you go along, kind of a way of keeping your motivation up. Applicable rewards. So if your goal is to lose weight, a good reward may not be food, but maybe an outfit or put a couple of dollars in your pocket for fun spending or something like that. If your goals are financial, spending may not be a good reward, right? If your goals are financial, generally you're working really hard towards something. Reward yourself with some personal time. Things like that. Look for applicable rewards along the way, okay? And So you're setting your goals, right? And you should think like 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plus, so on, 10 year, 20 year, whatever. Again, you're going to set mini goals. If you're looking at a 5-year goal, like mini goals are quarterly. That would be a fantastic because it's 20 of them, right? 20 goals, 20 mini steps, and you're at your goal. That's like nothing. That's like walking up a flight of stairs and back, right? That's it. If it's a 10-year plan, right? Maybe it's every 6 months is a great milestone to track on. For a 1-year plan, maybe every month or every other month. You get the idea. As you're planning these, set mini goals and set rewards as you reach your mini goals. I cannot talk about goals without discussing smarter goals. And I'm going to go over this briefly. You're really going to dig into this tomorrow when we are talking about setting personal and professional goals. We are really going to be digging into that tomorrow. So you can be prepared for that. But I'm going to touch on it just a little bit now. Some of you have heard this before. Others of you have not. Drop smarter in the comments if you're familiar with this. And we're going to dig into this. So smarter goals. Smarter is an acronym. And I'm going to walk through all letters of the acronym. Tomorrow will be an option to kind of get this sheet that lists it out as an acronym. And tomorrow, we're also going to get the sheet. What we're going to talk about are the types of goals to set in our life. And then we'll have a chart with the smarter as well. So that's what we're going to dig into tomorrow. but it's today. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So SMARTER is an acronym. The S stands for specific. Be specific with your goals. I want to lose weight is not specific. I want to lose 25 pounds in 6 months is specific, okay? So that's your S is specific. M, measurable steps. Make sure along the way, right, you're setting measurable steps. This kind of falls into the mini goals. I want to lose 4 pounds a month for the next 6 months. That takes you to 24 pounds, kind of close enough to 25. Maybe you could put 4¼ pounds, however that works out. A stands for actionable steps. Okay, I am going to exercise 30 minutes a day and not eat sugar. Very actionable steps, right? You're doing a particular action, or you're refraining from a very specific action. This one had both. So it's SMA. S is specific, M is measurable, A is actionable, R is realistic. Are your goals doable and attainable? So when you think about that, 4 pounds, 4 pounds a month for the next 6 months, that's 1 pound a week. 1 pound a week is totally attainable, okay? It's very realistic, very doable goal. But let's say your goal was to lose 100 pounds and you decide you wanted to do that in 6 months. Well, now you're setting yourself up for a less realistic goal, okay? Because to break that down, 100, 620, you're looking at saying you need to lose like 6 to 7 pounds a week. That's not very attainable. You might get to do that in 1 to 2 weeks, but you're not going to maintain that, where a pound loss you can maintain. So make sure your goals are realistic. All right, T stands for time frame. Write out the very specific time frame. Don't just say I want to lose 25 pounds, okay? Because the reason that you don't do that is you want to lose 25 pounds. You don't have really an end state, so you don't have a whole lot of motivation to get there. Well, I want to lose 25 pounds, but I can start tomorrow. I'm not worried about it today. It doesn't matter when I lose 25 pounds. I just want to lose 25 pounds. So that's absolutely key to have a time frame, right? Because no, you want to lose that weight. You want to do it now. What's it called? If you were looking for a particular promotion and you know that you had to be in that position for 3 years, you should not be setting a say I'm going to be promoted in this position in 18 months. That's one, not realistic because the job requires a certain amount of time on there. 2, it's not a good time frame because you're right, you already know you can't do that. So write out the time frame in a very clear fashion on a calendar. It's going to make all the difference in the world. Absolutely all the difference. So E in SMARTER stands for expectation management. What circumstances could alter your goals? Okay, this is really important to understand because you've got to be prepared if something happens to kind of have a plan B. Okay, you don't want to just give up your goal just because something happened. You want to have a plan B, something that jumps into your path. So let's say you are, as part of your losing weight, you're working out outside. We have a blizzard come through that lasts 3 weeks and you're incapable of working out outside. So what would be the expectation management? If something hindered my outdoor working, exercising, I would do this indoors, okay? It's kind of an expectation management. Things that can be expectation management right now, we all got to be prepared, right? What if you get COVID? That could change everything. And for those of you who were following me back in August when I did have it, y'all knew, one, you knew I was sick because it was very evident, right? But I showed up every day and it was all I could do every day. The only energy I had for 2 weeks was to show up here for 30 minutes. And like I said, even that was evident to you that I was not myself. Okay, but I just dumped everything else that was on my plate because I didn't care, but this mattered. So I made this work and everything else just went by the wayside. Okay, so expectation management is significant. Okay, right now, things that could hinder sickness could be a hindrance, injury, depending upon what type of goal you have, celebrations, right? To lose weight in a certain time frame and you have 17 family birthdays, that could be a hindrance, right? You have to have a plan B around those birthdays, right? Because that may hinder you reaching your goal. So that's what expectation management is. It's looking for the things that could hinder your goal and then having a plan B. And then the R in smarter stands for revelations. What has been revealed to you along the way? Through scripture, through God speaking through others, things that you have learned in the process, that's all revelations. What has been revealed to you journey? That's important as anything to reaching your goal. Because here's the thing. By the end of it all, you could be 3 months from reaching your goal. You could be, $500 from reaching your goal. Whatever your goal is, 5 pounds, be within 5 pounds of reaching your goal. And the revelation you could have, you might have been chasing the wrong goal. And so you might need to alter your goal. That's why revelation is important. It's to really take in the whole picture, take in the things that you are learning and absorbing in the way, listening to God, the Spirit, your scripture, others, and making sure you're on track. Okay. If you're somebody who weighs 175 pounds, and you want to weigh 100 pounds, maybe that's not a realistic goal, right? And others are trying to caution you, okay? Those are kind of revelations along the way. So that's why that's important. So smarter goals are going to be well thought out, they're going to be organized, and these are going to be the goals that are successful because of all the effort you put into it, because you know your why, you know your what, and you've made smarter goals along the way. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to talk about this in much greater detail. And I want you to come prepared. Like you guys already mentioned some goals over here. I want you to come prepared tomorrow with your own paper pen, maybe make some notes in the comments along the way. But we're going to talk through these smarter goals, and I'm going to give you subjects that you probably didn't even think ever of making goals on, but we're going to talk through that tomorrow. What's it called? And so not just talk about it, like you're going to be doing it tomorrow, just so you know, and just so you're prepared there. You're going to be doing it in some small fashion and ready to take off in your own fashion. Okay, drop ready in the comments if you are ready for tomorrow and excited for tomorrow. It's not steam coming off my head. That's my diffuser behind me. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and thanks for coming in, guys. I am so grateful to be back in this environment, and like I said, I'll be turning around and taking these lives, and these will go and get transmitted into the non-social media format, so everybody gets to see me. It's not remote. It's not, that's what I felt disconnected, and this way we all stay connected. All right, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern.